Jennifer was born in Torrance, California in 1970. She is a Japanese-American Christian who grew up in a middle-class family. She has always practiced Japanese traditions, such as making mochi on New Year's Day for good luck, and saying itadakimasu before she eats, which is saying thank you to the animals that were sacrificed, the farmers that grew the food, and to whoever cooked the food. But because Jennifer only spoke English, she never realized the difference in her Japanese culture compared to her American culture. Growing up, Jennifer attended public schools in the Los Angeles Unified School District, which surrounded her with great ethnic diversity and acceptance. Although never experienced much racism like most minorities, her parents definitely have and played a big role in her safety. She was sheltered most of her life and was barely allowed to go out or openly communicate with her parents. Her mother would also be very strict on her to be academically successful, knowing how difficult it is for minorities to rise in society.
Chippa chilla. 770.
It's okay. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad, not so good.
Not good, not
Yeah,
bad.
not bad, not so good.
Her earliest memory of becoming aware of racism was in her 5th grade class. One of her white classmates accused her Japanese teacher of favoring a specific group filled with Japanese students and called them nips. Confused, this thought lingered in Jennifer's mind. It wasn't until high school when Jennifer found value and importance in her culture. Maybe it was because she met more kinds of people, or maybe it was because someone pointed her culture out. But it was for sure not because of school. Back then, ethnic studies was not a thing. The history curriculum only focused on America's successes and represented other countries as the villains. The diversity of ethnicities and cultures is what made America. Not knowing their true history not only underrepresents minorities, but also misrepresents them too. Near the end of high school, Jennifer finally understood why her mother was being so hard on her. Her father was born in the Manzanar camp. In 1942, after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the United States government ordered more than 110,000 innocent men, women, and children of Japanese descent to leave their homes to be detained in a military-style camp in fear of spies. In these camps, they slept in barracks with no running water, surrounded by barbed wire, and they even had to go about their daily business in public.
Keep in mind, it gets really cold here. I think a lot of people would acknowledge that FDR probably shouldn't have done what he did with that executive order.
And her mother's family moved states just to avoid being in one. Her grandparents were the ones who immigrated to the United States for a better life. Yet they were treated like traitors to the nation. Jennifer then realized the hardships minorities have faced and still do in order to live a happy and stable life. And the privileges she thought she had were never there. Years later, Jennifer obtained her degree in teaching and started her job as an elementary school teacher. She got married and even had 3 beautiful kids. However, her life didn't go as planned, and Jennifer wasn't happy in her marriage. Wanting to get out of the powerlessness oppression, Jennifer got a divorce. Growing up through strict traditional views, she knew she would get looked down upon by her family and friends, and eventually, she lost hope of finding someone new. A few years later, she met Ken, a man with no structure and was still trying to navigate his life. Also a divorced parent, he had 4 daughters, and despite his dark past, she saw his love shine through. They fell in love, and after 3 years of their blended family growing together, they got engaged. Despite the strict way she grew up and the expectations her family had for her future, she is proud of how far she has come and learned that not all happy endings are traditional.